Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Odette Stone, and in today's video we're gonna do a little hormone update because it's a big one. It's the 1 year. But before we do that, I do want to talk about my hair real quick. I did update the color, you know, because sometimes I get tired of things and stuff. My roots were growing back and we have to do something about that. But let's show it off. We have a lovely purple maroon something eggplant murder scene going on right about here. And then I did silver everywhere else with some lavender highlights mixed in. And then the back, you don't need to see the back because I'm not turning around and it ain't none of your business because all you're gonna see is the front. So I think it's time we shut up talking all this dumb shit and get into the video. So let's do that. Before we do get into that, I do want to specify that I hit 1 year on August the 9th. It's now September the 28th or 7th or something. But you know what? What you gonna do? You just gonna have to live with it like I have. My deep dark secret of not filming this exactly at 1 year. My bad. I do want to make that clear because that's like a 3-month, I'm like 3 months ahead basically because it's almost October. So yeah, it's a year, but it's a year and 3 months. So I don't want anybody to see what's been going on with all of this right here, thinking that they'll have the same type of results when they hit their 1 year mark. Because what's going on for this bitch may not be what's going on for you, bitch. So let's keep that in mind as we're watching. And let's get into the video. First thing that we're going to talk about is I want to talk about the dry skin. In my 7-month video, link below, I discussed with you guys saying that I was experiencing some hellacious dry skin. I mean, I was flaking, I was peeling, I even had some tearing going on in the downstairs mix-up area, my cooch. Experienced some tearing, and that was fun to deal with. What I used was, I believe, Nivea hand cream. It was a type of hand cream. It was either Nivea or Neutrogena because it's like crack for moisturizer. That thing will get you moist. It's like the kiss of life back into your skin. It's beautiful. And I only had to do it a couple of times, and then some odd reason my skin kind of balanced out after that. It is still dry to this day, but I'm not flaking, I'm not tearing, I'm not ripping, I'm not doing any of that. There's no big issues. And I think a lot of that also has to do with me changing a lot of the makeup products and stuff that I was using. I was not using stuff for hydration, and so I added in a lot of hydrating products to my routine that I do. And girl, let me just say, a hydration spray is like your best friend. So that's how we fixed that problem, and that's how it's changed. My skin is also very soft, like it's like butter. Now let's talk about hair growth. This right here, I don't know if you, who girl, that's eyeliner. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it, but like these little bitty specks of hair, I feel like you can't see it. That being said, that's about a week or 2 weeks of not shaving my arms because I try to shave them every week or two. And that's pretty hairy for me. So hair growth is still at a low when it comes to body hair. When it comes to the hair on my head, this mess that's going on, I think it's growing pretty quickly. I don't get my roots and stuff touched up or get any recolor or anything done to my hair until after 3 months. In 3 months, I have about an inch of new growth. So I don't know if that's quickly, but it's pretty fast for me, in my opinion. Just mine. So I guess we could move on to the next topic, which is gonna be the tetatas, the areolas, my money makers. Ooh. And let's talk about some titties. First of all, let me give you like a bra size and reference. I'm currently wearing the Victoria's Secret bra. It's their push-up padded one. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, girl, go find out. That's all I got to say. It's the size 34, 36 in a B cup. And let me turn to the side so you guys can kind of see what's going on with the titties. Like, y'all see this? They're projected. There's a little dip going on. And they're beautiful. They're lovely. They're my itty bitty titties. And I love them to pieces. They're beautiful. That being said, they hurt all the time. My nipples are dying and screaming in pain like 24/7. My titties are still hurting, which means they're still growing. Let me touch them now. Yeah, they're still tender. Pretty tender. My nipples are huge. Like, I went from teeny tiny little, teeny tiny little nips to boom. That's basically what happened. That being said, it's not like the actual nipple itself gets bigger. It's the area, like that little, it's the circle around your nipple that got bigger. Like, it stretched out. And girl, I'm sorry if you didn't want big areolas. I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna happen. They stretch. They get big. But they're not like pepperoni sausages, huge monsters. They're manageable, about that big. I don't know why that's important, but some people might care to know. Baker, the woman that I met that you guys saw in my vlog, if you didn't, go watch it. You'll see her. She's also a trans woman herself. And she was explaining to me that the breasts don't actually stop growing until about the 2-year mark. 2 to 3 years, what she told me. 3 is kind of like a far stretch pushing it. So around the 2-year mark is when you can expect your titties to stop. So who knows? I could get bigger than a B. I might not need implants. I might not want implants. That's a whole nother story though. We'll get into that. Even though I did get fitted for them. We'll get into that. Let's talk about fat distribution and stuff. You guys can expect some body shots per usual. And they'll be coming up after I start talking and explaining, so that you can look for what I'm telling you. When it comes to like the mid portion of my torso to around the hip area, that's where I've noticed the most change in my body distribution. Weight. My hips have gotten a little bit bigger. And I know this because when I first started hormones, I was a size 32 waist, like on my hip in guy pants, because I'm a 32, 34. Or I was. I'm like a 34, 34 now. So if my hips keep getting bigger and wider, I'll be up to like a 36 in my waist. So, which I kind of want. I want big hips. So if it doesn't get there naturally, I'll probably get it there artificially, to be real. That being said, my stomach's gotten bigger too. My weight has been fluctuating a lot here recently. When I started, I was around 208 to 210, something like that. Somewhere around there. And I think I got as high as like 215 at one point. I managed to get the weight back down, but back down to 208, 207, somewhere like that. Hell, it could be bigger than that. I don't know. I'm too scared to weigh myself anymore. But weight is kind of fluctuating right now. My booty's gotten a little bit bigger. My asshole. I mean my ass, not the hole. Girl, that got a little personal. But like my butt's gotten a little bit bigger, and that's beautiful. Like that's lovely, girl. I like that. So you go look at my body and we'll be right back. As you just got to see, that was my body. the beautiful, luscious body. And I did take my bra off in the body shot so that you could see the full extent of Hakuna Matata, my titties. So that you could see them. And I hope you noticed what I was saying. Like, there really isn't that big of a difference when it's coming to the hip area. It's more so my stomach than anything, to be for me, where I notice it. But the hips are a little bigger because I've noticed my pants are a little tighter. And it's not, because before, like, my hips, like, this would be chest, waist, hip. It's very weird. It was like very much this type of shape. Like, here's the chest area, hip area, and then it would go like straight down. And that ain't cute. And now it's kind of like, girl, I can't do no damn diagrams with my hands, but literally it's like, it's not as much of a straight line, and it's not much of a divide anymore. When you get to the hip and waist area, it's almost uniform. And I like that a lot. That being said, girl, we got more fat in the midsection, and I'm starting to get a little top heavy. It's not that cute, but we're working on that slowly but surely when I get the motivation and decide that I don't like Baconator French fries. But I love them so much. I do want to go ahead and get into a little bit of like the R-rated, adult-themed type of conversations for the people who are interested in like what an orgasm feels like, what the fluid that comes out of your body, it shoots out of the volcano, looks like, because that has definitely changed as well. The semen, that's what it's called. So before I do get into that type of talk and that type of discussion, if that's not the thing for you, then please skip ahead. I will have it listed somewhere. It'll either be on the slide prior that's about to come up, or it'll be in the description box telling you where you can click forward and just skip this section so we don't have to talk about that. But for those of you who just stayed, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about sex. All of what I am saying, though, is strictly through solo work, solo play. I'm not dating anybody. I'm not seeing anybody. I'm not hooking up with anybody. So all of this is what has transpired on my own, me, myself, and I. So when it comes to the orgasms and all of that, they're beautiful, babe. They're beautiful. Just like I said in the previous video, they're a lot more intense now than what they used to be. Before, it was strictly you would feel the sensation through the shaft region, and then it would like explode. It kind of like that lighting did, and it just blow out. But seriously, it was a very short lasting thing, not much of nothing. It explodes, you feel good for about 5 seconds, and you're like, wow, I just put in a lot of work for not that much of a payoff. As opposed to now, when it comes to getting an erection and maintaining an erection, that is very difficult to do. It takes a lot more determination on my part to get one, and even more determination to maintain one. Like I said previously before, a good gust of wind could come by and I was standing at attention down there. It was very frustrating and very annoying because it's not always appropriate. And sometimes when it is appropriate, I'm like, girl, you're too damn excited. Sit down. But now, if I decide to get frisky with myself and get in the mood, we got to put in some hard yards to get that going. But let's get back to the orgasms. So when it comes to an orgasm and stuff, it's pretty much, how did I describe it in my last video? It's about the same as what I said it was in my last video. It is still slightly more intense. I don't know how much intense it is compared to what I said in the 7th video, because I just don't remember that type of sensation to now, but I can tell you what's going on now. Right now, it's like it builds up in you, and then it's like a huge explosion everywhere. Like, it starts at the base, and then it just trickles and spreads throughout the midsection, the waist area, and it just starts to trickle and spread throughout the body. And it's very strange, but girl, it's lovely. It's lovely, girl, and I'm not complaining by any means. I do want to talk about semen, though. When it does come to the semen and stuff, at one point, no semen, fluid, nothing was coming out anymore. I don't know why, but it was very just dry spell, nothing, nada, zip. And then, as of here late, I don't know how late, I'd probably say around month 9 to 10 for me, a clear fluid has started to come out at times. It comes out more times than it doesn't. And now I've got clear fluid, as opposed to before. Anybody who's seen semen knows what it is. It's gray, murky, kind of looks like whatever you think it looks like. And so that has changed a lot. Wait a minute. One thing I will say, I don't know if like my pH balance at one point kind of went funny. And when I spoke to my doctor about it, he said it was because of the hormonal change and stuff. I did notice that like my stench got a little, it got like sweat, got a little sour smelling. At one point I had to deal with like a little like funk down below that was very strange, very weird, because I am a clean freak. I take showers all the time. Hygiene is very important to me, and that kind of freaked me out and gave me a little panic attack. But after, I don't know, probably after a month or two of just riding it out, it just disappeared and everything went back to normal. My doctor did say that there's some type of plant-based pill you can take. So if you have some type of funk going on, your body smells start to change, your pheromones, I guess that's what that's called. If those start to change or get funky on you and you don't like that and can't tolerate it and think deodorant and whatever else you use is just not cutting it, you might want to look into those medications. Don't know what it's called? Ask your doctor. But it's something you can get over the counter at the drugstore, so it's not like that major. And so yeah, that's enough of the adult talk. Alright, you guys, I think that's all that I have to talk about in this video. So I think this is part where I'm gonna let you go and say thank you for watching my video so much. As you know, my name's Odette Stone, and if you made it this far and you're not subscribed, I really think you should do that, because that just shows that you appreciate the knowledge that I have just bestowed upon you. And you should like my video if you like it. Definitely go check out my other things. And one more thing, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it will be linked down below. You should definitely go do that. My username is Odette Stone __ because I just couldn't get it without the underscores. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye. One thing that I did forget to talk about / really need to talk about, I realized this in the editing, so this is why it's just kind of snuck up in here at a weird random spot, is that I forgot to talk about the testicular pain that I started having at around month 3 or 4. What my doctors think have happened is that I damaged a nerve, because as you know, your muscles get weaker on hormones. If you didn't know that, now you do. And the job that I was doing required me to do a lot of lifting and stuff, because I work overnight at a grocery store. So I was stocking, pulling pallets, doing So a lot of the heavier side of working at a grocery store, I was doing that. And they say that I damaged a nerve somewhere. Apparently there's a nerve that connects to your testicles that runs all the way to your back. And they don't know where on that nerve it got damaged, but that's what they tell me. I've been told that once I get SRS or the orchiectomy, because I haven't, truth be told, haven't quite decided whether or not I'm gonna get the orchiectomy first and get the SRS later, or if I'm just gonna hold off on it and get the SRS altogether. Which I'm leaning more towards we're just gonna get SRS and be done with it, so that, you know, it's not step one, step two, it's just boom, we're done. So I do think once I have the testicles removed that the pain will go away. But my doctors did say that there's a possibility that this pain could be chronic. So it is what it is. It doesn't hurt as much anymore or as bad. When I do a lot of walking, a lot of standing, that's when it really starts to get me, like pain-wise. But it's still not near as bad as what it used to be. Another thing that I did want to talk about is at this point in hormones, as I mentioned with the fluid that comes out of my body during ejaculation is clear. That also means that I'm sterile. I was corrected by one of the people watching who commented in my last video. And I've also found out later on that you are sterile while you're on hormones for a prolonged amount of time, and which means you can't have babies, but you can stop taking your hormones for X amount of days, weeks. I don't really know, didn't put that much thought into it, but I did confirm just to make sure that this is how it works. You do stop taking your hormones for a little while if you do decide later on down the line in your transition that you would like to have biological children. You go get your babies frozen, your sperm, you get that frozen, or your ovaries, not your ovaries, your eggs, or that, if you're a trans man, who knows. So you do go and get those frozen and stored in a sperm bank, an egg bank. I don't know how it works for women who do that, or trans men, or women, both. So I did want to put that little tidbit in here because I think it's important. I think you guys should know that. I also think you should try to be as safe as possible so that you don't have to deal with chronic pains like I possibly might have to, because I was stubborn and just wanted to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until I pushed too much and caused some internal damage. That's not okay, and you want to put your safety first above all else, and you got to be a little bit selfish with that, and you have to acknowledge the fact and realize that you are weaker as a trans woman. The longer you're on hormones, you're getting weaker. You can't do everything you used to be able to. So keep that in mind and keep watching my video.